In today's show, I'll be sharing this Bitcoin metric that flipped green just before the $50,000 Bitcoin price bull run is back. That's right, we're talking about the spent output profit ratio, which is heavily hinting that hodlers should buy this Bitcoin dip, as pointed out right here. I'll be breaking down the latest technical analysis from crypto analyst Philip Swift, as well as the latest from Plan B, the creator of the Bitcoin stock-to-flow model. Also in today's show, breaking news, Edward Snowden says competing nations are now under pressure to acquire Bitcoin following El Salvador. That's right, quoting him right here on crypto Twitter. And beyond the headlines, there is now pressure on competing nations to acquire Bitcoin, even if only as a reserve asset, as this design massively incentivizes early adoption. Latecomers may regret hesitating. That's right, let the Bitcoin game theory kick in. Also in today's show, Standard Chartered goes bullish on Ethereum and predicts ETH to reach $35,000 this cycle. That's right, they're given a price range between $26,000 and $35,000 as a potential target for Ethereum if Bitcoin hits $175,000. Also in today's show, I'll be sharing the latest Bitcoin price forecast for the second half of 2021, as well as 2030 and 2040. And I think these forecasts are going to blow a lot of your minds. I'll be breaking all this down for you. Also in today's show, we'll be taking a look at the overall crypto market. As you can see, Bitcoin, Ether, and many of the altcoins are currently correcting and in the red. But where's the Bitcoin price likely to go next? Find out all this, plus so much more, in today's show. Here at Crypto News Alerts, I drop a brand new episode every single day. The goal is to get to 50,000 subscribers to help support the show. If you like making money in cryptocurrency, be sure to smash that subscribe button and ring that bell to turn on all notifications and to receive daily premium crypto news alerts every single day, just like this. And real quick, before I kick off today's show, it's all going down September 15th at 8 p.m. Eastern. For the first time ever, Tiwari will release details on his brand new Hyperboom portfolio. The name of this live event is the catch-up coin, Hyperboom. An unprecedented event is about to trigger a hyperboom in these 6 catch-up coins that can bridge the financial gap between the life you currently have and the life you want in as little as 10 months. To register an RSVP for this live event, go ahead and click the link in the description right down below. It'll take you here. Simply enter your best email address, then click this yellow button that says sign me up. Also, I want to point out he's going to be revealing the name of his number one pick absolutely free. Not only that, but check this out, just $1,000 invested into Teeka's past catch-up coins when he recommended them would have yielded you results from $27,000 as high as $484,000. And after you register, it's going to take you here and you'll have the opportunity to get on his VIP text message list by simply entering your phone number, which will also allow you to take advantage of all these bonuses. So what are you waiting for? Go ahead and register right now by clicking the link in the description right down below. And I look forward to seeing you there. All right, welcome back to another episode of Crypto News Alerts. I'm your host, JV. How's it going, crypto fam? Make some noise in the live chat. We have a lot to cover, so let's break it right down. Bitcoin speculators have been selling at a loss, and this week presents a golden opportunity for the buyers, according to analysts. Data shows that Bitcoin spent output profit ratio flipped negative for the first time in 6 weeks on Wednesday. Now, this is a classic buy signal. A negative SOPR implies that sellers have been dumping Bitcoin at a loss, and the oversold market, therefore, is ripe for the longer-term hodlers to profit from cheap coins. The last time the SOPR went negative was July 20th, right before Bitcoin took off to reclaim that critical 50K psychological resistance. And as crypto analyst Philip Swift shares here, number one, spent output profit ratio went negative yesterday as on-chain speculators were selling at a loss. Paints a very similar picture to funding rates in recent months, in that a lot of forced selling took place over the summer, making this more of a buy the dip opportunity now. And number two, he shares, you can view and zoom in on the live chart here. So yeah, this is good news for the Bitcoin bulls. As Cointelegraph reported, research was highlighted on Tuesday's Bitcoin price dip as coming from over-leveraged traders who could not withstand the selling pressure from the young whales. And after the market cleared out those players, optimism has returned over the more sustainable price gains for on-chain monitoring resource WhaleMap. Meanwhile, the SOPR data likewise hints at the possibility of higher levels returning, as they share right here on crypto Twitter. SOPR around 1 in an uptrending market is good news. That's right. And in private comments to Cointelegraph, the WhaleMap team added that a little bit more sideways action should first characterize the market before upside ensues. And checking out the latest from Plan B, the creator of the Bitcoin stock-to-flow model, he tweeted this morning, this was January 2019. Bitcoin was trading at $3,500. Still very true today. Bitcoin beats stocks and gold and real estate in risk-adjusted return. That means Bitcoin is more risky, but you invest less to level the risk with other investments and still have more return. And checking checking out this other recent tweet from Plan B. He wrote, "Funny to see all the sell the news traders handing over their Bitcoins to El Salvador and hodlers around the world. Make sure you transfer your Bitcoin out of the exchanges and into your own wallet. Sage advice, not your keys, not your cheese." Also like to point out that the stock to flow X model, which is the cross asset model, predicts a medium average of 288,000 between now and 2024. Let me know if you agree or disagree with the stock to flow. And before I break down our next breaking story of the day, Edward Snowden says competing nations are now under pressure to acquire Bitcoin following El Salvador, as well as Standard Chartered goes bullish on Ethereum, predicting a $35,000 Ethereum price for this market cycle, as well as I break down the latest Bitcoin price forecast for the second half of this year, as well as for 2030 and 2040. But first, let's take a quick look at the overall crypto market. As you can see, a slight correction after being back in the green yesterday, with Bitcoin down about 0.4% for the day, trading just above $46,000. We have Ethereum down 2.5%, trading just under $3,400. Solana down 10%, trading at $181. Cardano down 3.5%, trading just under $2.50. And Polkadot up 7%, trading just above $30. All right, now let's break down our next story of the day. The former computer intelligence consultant for the NSA and contractor of the CIA, Edward Snowden, commented on El Salvador making Bitcoin legal tender. On Tuesday, he was actually responding to this tweet, which shows somebody who walked into McDonald's in El Salvador to see if they could pay for their breakfast with Bitcoin, and to be honest, fully expecting to be told no, but lo and behold, they printed a ticket with a QR and took him to a webpage with the Lightning invoice, and now he's enjoying some sort of traditional McDonald's breakfast, as you can see here in your screen, in which Edward Snowden responded. Today, Bitcoin was formally recognized as legal tender in its first country, and beyond the headlines, there is now pressure on competing nations to acquire Bitcoin, even if only as a reserve asset, as its design massively incentivizes early adoption, and latecomers may regret hesitating. That's right, he's talking about the game theory built into the Bitcoin protocol. El Salvador's Bitcoin law went into effect, as we all know, on September 7th, and Bitcoin is now a national currency alongside the US dollar. Nayib Bukele, the president of El Salvador, also revealed on Tuesday that his government has purchased 550 BTC. In a pretty gangster tweet he shares here, it appears the discount is ending. Thanks for the dip, IMF News. We saved $1 million in printed paper. El Salvador now holds 550 Bitcoin, and my response to this was, just as I predicted, IMF News spreading FUD. Thanks for the dip, FUD suckers. Bah-ha-ha-ha-ha. It is what it is. Now, Snowden is not the only one expecting other countries to follow El Salvador's footsteps in adopting Bitcoin. We have Dante Masi, the executive president of the Central American Bank for Economic Integration, said that if adopting Bitcoin as legal tender goes well in El Salvador and the cost of remittances drops substantially, other countries will probably seek that advantage and adopt it. That's right, and as pointed out right here, the headlines on the mainstream media right now, El Salvador's new Bitcoin wallets could cost Western Union $400 million a year. Correction, El Salvador's new Bitcoin wallet could save its citizens $400 million a year. Much better. Even the Bank of America sees benefits in adopting Bitcoin as legal tender for El Salvador. Quoting them here, Bitcoin could be used as an intermediary for cross-border transfer. Using Bitcoin for remittances could potentially reduce transaction costs compared to traditional remittance channels, the bank wrote in early August. And in addition, global investment bank JP Morgan said in June that the move by El Salvador could be the beginning of a broader trend among similarly situated smaller nations. Let's go mass Bitcoin adoption. And as pointed out here, in the last 4 weeks, Cuba legalized Bitcoin, the Ukraine legalized Bitcoin, and Panama presented a bill to legalize Bitcoin, while El Salvador adopted Bitcoin as legal tender, and we are just getting started. That's right, and before I break down our next story of the day, Standard Chartered goes bullish on Ethereum, predicting a $35,000 Ethereum price for this cycle, as well as I break down the latest Bitcoin price forecast for the second half of this year, as well as for 2030 all the way up to 2040. But first, let's take a quick look at the overall crypto market cap, sitting just above $2.1 trillion with $135 billion in volume in the past 24 hours, and the current Bitcoin dominance is 41.2%, with the Ether dominance at 19% even. And checking out the top gainers within the top 100, we have Tezos leading the pack up 35%, trading at $6.22. We have Mina up 28%, trading at $6.15, and Icon up 27%, trading at $1.93. Now, which altcoins are you currently most bullish on during this bull run? Let me know in the comments right down below. And checking out one of my favorite indicators is the Crypto Greed and Fear Index. Shows we're currently rated a 46 out of 100 in fear. Yesterday was a 45, last week a 74, and last month a 70 in greed. And if you're not familiar with the Crypto Greed and Fear Index, extreme fear can be a sign investors are too worried. That can be a great buying opportunity, aka BTFD, buy that freaking dip. And when investors are getting too greedy, that means the market is due for a correction. All right, now let's break down our next story of the day, shall we? Institutional investors are now betting on the possibility of Ethereum surging due to its financial market growth. Standard Chartered analysts trust Ethereum's growth potential can overtake Bitcoin, the first crypto by market cap. However, technicals reveal that before future advancement, Ethereum is bound to retrace. Standard Chartered takes a bullish stance on Ethereum. Ethereum now has more attention thanks to the London fork, a recent innovation on the blockchain. The network records that up to date 224,700 tokens burned with 7,500,000 locked in ETH 2.0 deposit contracts. As some analysts now predict a huge surprise in the future, we're talking about a supply shock on the horizon. Among several financial institutions that have a massive anticipation in the performance of Ethereum, Standard Chartered is the latest. From a recent report, the British banking giant sees Ethereum as a financial market filled with different services for users. This is from the fact that the network is a platform for lending, interest earning on investments, amongst others. And furthermore, the report explained the possibility of Ethereum matching up to Bitcoin's market cap through such utility. And furthermore, Standard Chartered gives a price range of $26,000 to $35,000 as a potential target for Ethereum if Bitcoin hits 175,000 per BTC. Now, I feel it's a given for this bull run, Bitcoin will surpass 175,000. So they're saying if Bitcoin accomplishes that, we're likely to see a $26,000 to $35,000 Ethereum price. How many of you are currently bullish on Ether? Let me know in the comments. Now, the multinational financial services firm explains that the target represents a 1,000% increase from the present price levels. It envisages that Ethereum will gather a market cap of about $4 trillion with Ether at 35,000 per Ethereum. However, this will depend on the impact of deflation of its EIP 1559 update. And irrespective of its great potentials, Ethereum has no bullish appearance on a short-term basis, so do keep that in mind. It can only take a daily candlestick close beyond $4,030 of the recent high level to disrupt this bearish thesis. And by satisfying such conditions, Ethereum will indicate a kickoff of a bull run race towards 127.2% Fibonacci retracement mark at $5,115. And before I break down our final story of the day and I share the latest Bitcoin price forecast for the second half of this year, as well as for 2030 all the way up to 2040. But first, I want to remind you to smash that show more button right below this video in the description for a detailed analysis of what's going on in the crypto market. This goes for all 900 plus videos right here on my YouTube channel. Also, some very helpful resources for you to plug into, including my daily letter, which goes out to over 30,000 subscribers every single day. To subscribe, visit letter.cryptonewsalerts.net. Also have a blog I update daily, which could be found at cryptonewsyes.com. Also be sure to smash that subscribe button and ring that bell if you like making money in cryptocurrency and help me get to 50,000 subs. And of course, you can follow me on all the major podcasts and platforms, from Spotify, the home of the Joe Rogan Experience, to Apple's iTunes and Google Play. And of course, you can follow me on crypto Twitter, Facebook, Telegram, and TikTok, so be sure to follow me there. All right, now let's break down our final story of the day. As mentioned before, the Bitcoin price predictions for 2021 vary. Several predictions estimate that Bitcoin could be worth at least $1 million soon due to the adoption of Bitcoin transactions as well as increased investment compared to gold investors. However, some price predictions predict the opposite, that Bitcoin will move below 20,000 and never ever recover. We're talking about Bitcoin trolls and haters though, such as the Peter Schiffs of the world. The Bitcoin price predictions are usually made by people seeking to manipulate the price of the currency in their favor by using a certain process. This is why people like Jackson Palmer, the co-creator of Dogecoin, claim that the crypto industry is corrupt and manipulated. But let's take a look at the Bitcoin price prediction for 2021 and what price Bitcoin could reach based on its current price. Well, the current all-time high for the first half of 2021 is around that $65,000 mark. But now let's talk about the second half of this year. It has been considered that Bitcoin is not following the Wyckoff distribution pattern anymore and has now reclaimed the support at 45,676 but lost at 48,000. It might fall further, but what follows is a huge bullish momentum by the end of 2021. According to our predictions, Bitcoin might reach six figures by the end of this year because of plenty big whales accumulating Bitcoin in the recent times, and a huge upswing is possible in the future. I agree. I believe Bitcoin is destined to surpass six figures before the end of the year. I like like Max Kaiser's $220,000 Bitcoin price prediction, I also feel that this is in play. And also with the global adoption of Bitcoin, we can say that the pros outweigh the cons. That's for sure. Also, as of now, the biggest Grayscale Bitcoin Trust unlock is over, and there are chances that the price of Bitcoin sees a strong reversal soon. Also like to point out, in order for the Bitcoin stock to flow model to not be invalidated, we must surpass a minimal of $100,000 close by December, and Stock to Flow Creator Plan B predicts a minimal close of $135,000 before the end of this year. Let me know if you agree or disagree in the comments below. Now keep in mind, that's the worst case scenario. The best case scenario, according to Plan B, is a $450,000 Bitcoin price before the end of this year. And from the current lowest point at the end of the month, December of 2019, when the Bitcoin price traded at 3,100, an equal gain of 10,000% would mean that the price target for the end of this cycle is $310,000, as you can see right here in this chart, which shows this price forecast. Now check this out. According to long forecast, Bitcoin will be trading in the range of $109,000 to $128,000 by the end of 2022. Now let's talk about the Bitcoin price forecast between 2023 and 2025. We have Bobby Lee, who I had prior on the show. We interviewed him. He says Bitcoin's price should exceed a minimum of $500,000 by the end of 2028 and have a capitalization that exceeds gold, which is currently estimated between 10 and 11 trillion dollars. That's right. Many analysts are predicting that Bitcoin flips the gold market cap. And once that happens, we can expect a minimal of a $500,000 Bitcoin price. And recently, Bitcoin passed the $1 trillion mark once again, indicating that much of the work has already been done, as Bitcoin is valued at more than 10% of what gold is currently valued at. And regarding 2025, we should easily exceed the $10 trillion market cap. That's right. And my personal prediction is a $1 million Bitcoin price by the year 2025. But let's fast forward now into the future and dive into what will one Bitcoin be worth in 2030. Let's break it down. Bitcoin should exceed the $10 trillion market cap by 2030. That's a given the previous momentum. With El Salvador's adoption, the Bitcoin price predictions for 2030 depends on the adoption rate. Now, my personal prediction by 2030 is a $10 million Bitcoin price. Once again, I feel by 2025 we hit seven figures for the first time, and I feel we can then 10x within the next cycle 5 years later. And by 2040, another decade and 2 cycles later, I mean, it's a given. I see the Bitcoin price trading at a minimal of $20 million and potentially a lot more, especially with all the quantitative easing and macroeconomic factors, which are bullish as a mofo, and also considering the finite limited supply. There can only ever be 21 million Bitcoin in existence, and it's estimated to be millions lost and gone forever, making Bitcoin the most hardest form of sound money to ever exist. So by 2040, I could easily see a $20 million plus Bitcoin price, but let me know your thoughts in the comments right down below. And now for a quick recap of what I covered with you here in today's show. This Bitcoin metric that flipped green just before the $50,000 Bitcoin price bull run is back. That's right. As Philip Swift points out right here, we're talking about the spent output profit ratio. Also in today's show, we shared breaking news. Edward Snowden says competing nations now under pressure to acquire Bitcoin following El Salvador, as well as Standard Chartered goes bullish on Ethereum, predicting a $35,000 Ethereum price for this cycle. And I also shared with you the latest Bitcoin price predictions and forecasts for the second half of this year, all the way up to 2030 and even 2040. But where do you feel the Bitcoin price is likely to go next? Go ahead and let me know in the comments right down below. Now for the top 3 comments from yesterday's episode, JT wrote, "Great, that would be wonderful. Another war. Why do we need to depopulate again? That's why we need BTC, the greatest digital asset ever, period. Hodlers, keep hodling." That's right. Amen. Much love, JT. I appreciate your support. This next featured comment comes from Inner Dinosaur, who wrote, "Hiya, JV. Hello, everyone. We got to bounce. I ain't looked. I thought any dip would have been bought up. Pretty sharpish." And the third and final featured comment comes from Tony Rome, who wrote, "In your loins. You said it with authority, so I believe you. I appreciate you tuning in, and as always, much respect. And to be featured in tomorrow's episode, be sure to drop me a comment right down below." Well, that's going to conclude today's show. As always, I appreciate you tuning in and journeying along with me inside this incredible crypto matrix. If you gain value out of today's show, and if you like earning money in cryptocurrency, be sure to smash that subscribe button and ring that bell to turn on all notifications and help me get to 50,000 subs. And real quick before I go, don't forget September 15th at 8 p.m. Eastern. It is going down for the first time ever. Tiwari will release details on his brand new Hyperboom portfolio. He's going to be revealing these 6 catch-up coins and revealing the #1 coin absolutely free during this live event. To register an RSVP, click the link in the description right down below. It'll take you here. Simply enter your favorite email address and click the button that says sign me up, and I look forward to seeing you on tomorrow's episode. Peace.